Hello everybody, it's day 3 of my 30-day water fast. It is April the 25th, 2019. Welcome to ClubFred. I'm Fred D, your host, and today I'm taking you with me on a special little trail near my house, which is absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. If you want to restore your soul, get out in nature and enjoy God's creation. You know, this place has a lot of remnants of old growth forest, although mostly all of the old trees have been harvested because at one time no one ever thought they could ever run out. And some of the biggest and most majestic trees here in British Columbia are Douglas fir. They grow so big, and there's a few places where they still exist, trees that are hundreds of years old. Absolutely incredible. Maybe I can show you a few, because some of the remnants, the stumps, still exist today, and they're still giving new life as trees and wildlife find new habitat. Even in death, new life grows and comes from it. So, what's going on today? Today I'm going to talk to you about hunger, cravings, and desire. But before I get into that, I'm going to tell you about my results today on the scale. For those of you that are here for only that, I'll give it to you now. But I will tell you, if you stay till the end, I reveal my body. I've already shot that little piece of footage. So I didn't want to do that, but I think it's good. Okay, so let's get into it now. Hunger, cravings, and desire, right? What is hunger? Hunger is a feeling in our bodies. It's a physiological sensation, and it's our body telling our mind we should eat food. And we have been programmed to respond to hunger since the day we were born, right? What's the first thing we check? There's 3 things we check when a baby's crying. Are they hungry? Do they have a dirty diaper? Or is there some other health condition, fever, or other issue that's causing them discomfort? So ever since we've been a baby, our hunger has been fed. And we've been doing it ever since. We feel that as soon as we feel hungry, we need to eat. That hunger feeling is further validated because we know when we're hungry and we eat, it goes away. So we're no longer hungry. Problem solved, right? So when you're fasting, you experience hunger. And you get to that place that we've all experienced before, fasting or not, where we feel like we're going to die if we don't eat. Oh my God, I haven't eaten all day. I'm starving, right? So, what you need to do when you're fasting and you feel hungry, you need to reprogram your mind. That physiological sensation of hunger needs to be received in your mind psychologically in a different way. So the way you do that is you say, oh, hunger, hello, welcome, I'm glad you showed up today because we're friends. And when you are present, good things happen in my life. You can know that good things are happening in your body. And when you first start fasting, your body is burning up all your glycogen stores. And I'm not the greatest guy on facts and figures, but I think that for every pound of glycogen, you have 2 to 3 or 3 to 4 pounds of water stored. Therefore, in the initial days, you shed a lot of water weight, and you're still losing pounds, and it makes you feel a lot better, but it's not fat. And after you burn through your glycogen and you dump your water, then you start burning your fat reserves on your body. This is the gold that your body has stored for this very purpose. This is the absolute best nourishment for you when you can't access food. It's by design. And so your body accesses your fat. It's been bought and paid for and put in the pantry for these times of famine. And when your body switches over to burning fat, some people call that fat adapted. And it starts receiving everything it needs again. And your hunger starts to diminish. It dissipates and it goes away. So today, my hunger is about a 4 out of 10. It's not that bad, but I've been fasting many times before. I know what to expect, and I'm not getting all wound up about it. I'm not allowing myself to think things like, oh my God, I'm hungry and am I going to die? So I'm really calm about it. But the other thing is that prior to this fast, for about 2 weeks, I was almost solid carnivore, which simply just means that I wasn't consuming any carbs, and I was already fat adapted. And I think that represents why after fasting the first day, I only lost 0.4 of a pound, and my body was trying to figure out what was going on because it had been so satiated with meat, eggs, cheese, and fat. So the thing you need to realize is that hunger does not grow exponentially. When you feel that feeling of extreme hunger and you think you're going to die because you need to feed it, you always have, and you think that it's going to get worse. It doesn't. You already all know what the worst of it feels like. If you want to try a water fast and you haven't fasted yet, you already know. And I can guarantee you that feeling doesn't get any worse. And hunger is not pain. It's not pain. They call it pangs, P-A-N-G-S, but it's not pain. It's a different sensation. And you just need to reprogram your mind when you think about it. Okay? So now, let's move on to desire. My friends, desire is not hunger, and it's not cravings. Desire doesn't exist in your body. It exists entirely in your mind, and it has a lot to do with habits and bad habits. These are feeding, addictive behaviors. This is food that you have went to for emotional eating. This is just stuff you like to eat. You have fed your desires. We're talking about lust. We're talking about the flesh. We're talking about everything that feels good, but it's not an addiction. It's not a physiological craving. This is all in your mind. This is stuff that you have fed. It's food porn. It's anything that you think about and obsess about, but it's not cravings. You need to separate that. I'm going to talk about cravings in a minute. So, desire is simply thinking about and obsessing about the stuff that you want to have, but you don't need it. Your body does not need it. This is born out of bad habit. And the way to beat desire is to simply rebuke it. It's again about controlling your thought life. As soon as you think about that food, you just say, hey, I'm sorry, that's none of my business. I'm going to think about nature, God's creation. I'm going to think about my flower garden that I love to tend. I'm going to think about my project in my workshop. I'm going to think about my kids or my grandkids, or I'm going to think about my vacation. And you just change your thought pattern, and it requires some discipline, but you can practice that and you can master that. So that's desire. It's in your mind. This whole thing, like so many other things in life, is a mind game. It's a mind warp. And you need to wrap your mind around it. Right? Hunger is in your mind. It's how you deal with it. And desire is entirely in your mind. This is your thought life. Change it. You can. Now let's talk about cravings. This is a trillium. It comes out in the springtime in Canada. It is the national flower of Ontario, my home province. I'm coming up to a big, beautiful tree. This is already massive. This is a good 3.5 feet wide. I love it. Sometimes I've taken some close-up shots of just the bark on these trees. Look at that. Majestic. Okay. Now on the subject of cravings. Cravings is the reason that I got fat. Again, that I regained some of the weight I lost on my first fast. Throw in a little bit of desire, and you have a recipe for disaster. After breaking my 75-day water fast, I started to experience cravings only when I went off my eating protocol and I started experimenting with other things. One of the first things I tried last summer was I sat down on a patio feeling so good about myself, and I had a glass of wine. That night I came back, I was staying at my friend's house, and he had left some peanuts out and maybe some potato chips and some beer in the fridge, and I ate the peanuts, and I thought I'd just have a handful, but I didn't stop there. So no harm done. I got back on my program rather quickly for a period of time, and I was also doing a weekly 48-hour fast. And so I didn't lose points on the scale, but I started feeling cravings. Okay, you have to see what's in front of me. Here we go. Right? Because after all, you guys are coming along for this walk with me. It's probably a little after 7 p.m., so the sun is in the right place to create just the perfect reflection in the water. So I deviated from my OMAD and keto protocol and introduced some carbs, and that brought cravings. Now let me tell you, and this is why I make the distinction between cravings. Oh wait, I have to show you something else. I don't know, is this weird? Isn't that beautiful? Look at that. Guys, if you don't believe in a God, I don't know. You think this all happened by accident? I'm not asking for debate, but I don't think so. So the reason I make the distinction between cravings and desire is simply because one is real. Cravings are real because when you reintroduce carbs into your diet, and I have another video in season 1, it's called The Big Five, or the Five Mistresses of Keto. And they are specifically, you had to think about that for a second, potatoes, rice, bread, pasta, and sugar. I'm not a food scientist, I don't want to be. I don't study it like some of you. And it's just not that, I just don't have that kind of mind for facts and figures. But I do know this. Carbs are processed in your body like sugar. And it has to do with insulin. When you feed your body with carbs and sugar, correct me if I'm wrong, your body creates insulin. The insulin says, oh, I have more than I need, and it converts the carbs and the sugar to fat, and it stores that throughout your entire body, everywhere, puts it everywhere. That's why we're fat, everywhere on our body. So that's the pantry. So I talked previously in this video about being fat adapted, and fat adapted is when your body has used up all your glycogen stores, sugar, and switches to fat burning mode. And when you feed it more carbs or sugar, your body responds with cravings. And that's why I say cravings are different than desire, because cravings are real. They're a real physiological condition. I've experienced it. Some people think, oh my gosh, Fred, you are the most amazing person with the most incredible amount of willpower. Not really. Starting and restarting a fast is the most difficult part. The first 3 to 4 days are the hardest. After that, it's just a mind game. It's not a physical game. If you think you can, you're right. If you think you can't, you're still right. It starts in your mind, and it starts with commitment. So after the first 3 to 4 days, your body starts moving into ketosis. It starts moving into fat burning mode. Whether you check it with a keto stick or not, it doesn't matter. Your body will be in keto because you're feeding it 0 calories. Take your supplements, that's not calories. That's for your electrolytes. So you don't have any fainting spells or any health issues with your blood pressure. I talked about that yesterday if you haven't seen it. We have a Facebook group called Waterfasting, Refeeding, and Maintenance. And everybody joins because they want to water fast, I know, and that's fine. Oh, I have to show you. Seriously? Look at that. Can you hear me when I'm talking with the camera outward? Perhaps more of you would enjoy that. I think you could probably hear me just as well. I need to really gain some technical expertise. But the water fasting is the easy part. The maintenance is the hard part. This is all about the maintenance. And I'll tell you, water fasting helps you break your dependency with food. It helps you see the world and your lifestyle and your eating habits and your diet in an entirely new light. It's very enlightening. But we got fat for a reason, and the reason is simply this. We have bad habits, right? We have a bad relationship with food. I'm not going to say we're food addicts, although we might emotionally eat, but I think everybody has their drug of choice when they're responding to emotional issues, and everyone has emotional issues. So I think a lot of people eat comfort food for their emotional problems in life, but you know, we got fat for a reason, and we need to figure that out, because it doesn't matter how long you fast or how much you lose. If you don't figure out a proper maintenance protocol for your life that is going to be sustainable without white knuckle holding on and requiring a tremendous amount of willpower, you're going to gain all your weight back. And I don't care how enlightening you feel your fast is, as I did too. You will think you've got it in the bag. You will start experimenting with other foods. You will eat some foods that start introducing those cravings. And those cravings are so powerful, so absolutely powerful. It's a powerful force. It's deadly. And it can take you a long time with willpower to overcome that again. So, on maintenance, I would say this: start now. You don't need to wait till you're fasting to start your maintenance protocol. Okay, here is something to see. This here is what I was talking about, guys. This is the remnants of a old growth Douglas fir. It's big. And it's beautiful. Look at this, right? You can start today without any delay. You can stop putting food in your pie hole. You can stop choosing bad things. You can rearrange your cupboards and your pantry and your refrigerator. You can start thinking about the way you want to eat. When you have finished a fast and lost your weight, that protocol that you know is going to help you maintain your weight. Get that figured out. The sooner you get it figured out, the more successful you're going to be. And why not start now, today? Like, I mean, this minute. Put down the fork, you know? Get that figured out, because without that figured out, you're not going to maintain your weight loss. You're not going to be successful. I'm going to have to figure out how to get out of here. This whole time that I've been talking to you, I haven't paid any attention to where I am. And this is a big conservation area. Behind me is a baseball game. And I've never seen that part of this park before. Further to that, I came into this place from a different entrance. I have no clue where I am or where I need to go. So this is going to be a long walk. And you know, I woke up stiff today because my lower calves have been really strained by walking around my neighborhood for the last 2 days because it's very hilly. And I didn't feel strained or out of breath or in any way like I was overdoing myself, but I was certainly overdoing my muscles, which have not been worked for quite some time. So, get me out of here. Look at this. Now here is a huge tree. I'm going to say that would be 6 feet wide, maybe 7. And there is 3 trees growing out of the top. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful and incredible. Right? And look at this in detail. Wouldn't that just make a nice wallpaper? Absolutely beautiful. Of course, you can start fasting today too. Like, you can start fasting right now too. Just stop eating. Get some water. Read the bottom of my post yesterday for my supplement regimen. But you don't need to start that right away. I'm on day 3. I will start that tomorrow by personal choice. I say use your supplements between day 4 and 7. So this is the absolutely do-nothing diet. It's not a diet, but if you want to lose weight, it's a do-nothing diet. You do nothing. You don't grocery shop. You don't prep food. You don't cook food. You don't clean up dishes. You don't eliminate. You do nothing. And you lose weight. But whether you're starting a water fast today or not, or you have one planned, which is a good idea, I find and make a commitment to a date, as I did with this fast, April 22nd, because it was significant, right? On the 1-year anniversary of beginning a fast that lasted 75 days, that's significant. So I set that date and made that commitment. And being mentally prepared is something worth doing for a water fast. But in the meantime, guys, don't mess around with your maintenance protocol. If you think that you don't need to start changing your eating habits right now, today, not tomorrow, right now, then you're going to fail. I can guarantee you. If you can't find a maintenance protocol that will help you maintain your weight right now and follow that, then all the water fasting in the world is not going to save you. you will regain your weight. I'm saying if you can't. I'm not saying if you start a water fast right now and you haven't figured it all out. I didn't. I've been figuring it out for the last year. I've been doing trial and error, and I've learned a lot. Because water fasting brings a tremendous amount of insight. You almost laugh. You watch people running around for their next fix of food. And everywhere you go is food, my God. And your sense of smell becomes enhanced. You start smelling it everywhere. You're driving your car down the road and you smell the food coming across from the restaurant. And that's not a bad thing, because after fasting for a while, you learn that food is more pleasure than just eating it. It smells good. Food smells good, right? You can enjoy the smell of food even when you're not eating it. You can enjoy the way it looks, the presentation. Anyway, look, this has gone on long enough. I could talk on and on forever, it seems. So, today I also promised you I would show you my body. So I'm going to cut that in here. Keep in mind, I'm 56 years old. I have no clue what a normal 56-year-old body would look like. But I'm about 40 pounds lower than I was last year. And at one point I was 270 pounds. Now I'm 213. So you do the math. So I'm going to cut that in right now. This is my body. It's all of me, 56 years old, 57 next month. I am 213.8 pounds today on the third day of my water fast. I have, I don't know, what's normal for my age. Is it loose skin? I think it's loose skin. As I lose more weight, it's going to be looser. I know that. I saw that when I was down to the 190s. I have man boobs. I don't work out. Yesterday I did 5 push-ups, no problem, and some sit-ups. I'm going to do some more workout, but one thing I notice is it's not that loose under my arms. I'll show you my leg because I've always had fat legs. So, I mean, there's fat on it, and when that fat's gone, it's going to be looser. Everybody says, Fred, did you have any loose skin? And I'm thinking, like, what's the issue? Because what's the alternative? You're going to be fat, or you're going to have some loose skin? I've been fat for the majority of my adult life, and I'd rather have some loose skin and look good in my clothes and feel good than be fat and have high blood pressure, GERD, edema, depression, anxiety, potential heart disease, potential for a heart attack. So that's it. That's my body. That's the last we're ever going to see of it until I reach my goal weight. And then, at least, this exercise will have been worthwhile because we can compare, right? Okay, sorry to subject you to that. Carry on. It's business as usual. Okay, if you're still with me, guys, sorry about that. I hope you don't have to burn your eyeballs with fire. Anyway, if you're still with me now, I really appreciate it. I want to say thank you to all my viewers. Once again, 2 days ago, when I started this fast, I reached 1,000 subscribers, which is significant, and I really appreciate everyone who has subscribed to my channel. Now, I need to put my attention to figuring out where I am on this trail, finding my exit, and getting the heck out of here. So listen, as always, love yourself, stay safe, and be awesome. Where am I right now? Gate 1, so that's where I came in. I went around this lake. Where does it say you are here? Probably here. Oh my God. So I can stay on this perimeter trail to get to gate 1. I'm a long way away. It's going to be a big long walk today. It's been a good walk. And it's been really good that I've made this commitment to vlogging every day, because it gets me out of my garage. You know I live in a garage, right? Gets me out of my garage and gets us into a much nicer environment to discuss the things that we need to discuss. I think I should get a gimbal or something. Actually, yesterday I got my GoPro. I have a GoPro 3 Silver, which I bought in 2014 and never used. I had to reinstall the software and download the manual. I've already done some test shots with it, and I think maybe I could get on to that. Might bring a little bit of a better quality of video to the experience. So we'll see. I'm just so enthralled to share this walk. Probably with myself at this point. Right? I'm probably alone. Like, who is here right now after I already said goodbye and everything? That's a massive tree. It's even been burned by fire once. This is a beautiful time of year. There's some more trilliums. Something about trilliums. I don't know about here in BC, but in Ontario, it's illegal to pick them. It's a preserved flower. And if you pick them, you can be fined. I had a country property once, and I had them in the wooded area, and I tried digging some up and transplanting them, and they don't. They're a wild flower. They take a long time to get established, and they do not like to be interfered with at all. It's probably not impossible to transplant them, but there must be some secrets. This is the time of year for the trillium, right? It's beautiful. Look at that. Beautiful flower. That's a signal to me. Fred, get back home, right? Okay, I'm out of here. Run.